Hello again, everybody. Zach Attack is here, my WWE Raw review for this Monday, May the 14th, 2018, coming to you from the UK, London, England, the week of the Royal Wedding, from the O2, as the road with Money in the Bank lands in UK. After coming from a mostly shitty Backlash pay-per-view, and knowing that an indie show in a 10,000 seat arena sold out in allegedly an hour, and no scalping, or not much scalping, because referring to All In, the show involving the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, and the Bullet Club, in the Cody's challenge for the NWA title against the Mr. Mickey James, Magnus, and Mysterio's gonna be on. And maybe CM Punk, he's signing at a t-shirt shop that weekend. So congrats to All In. Congrats to Young Bucks. So all that going on, WWE Raw landed in the UK with a decent little Raw. Some storyline building and towards Money in the Bank, some silly things, and maybe possible stupid things to happen next week. And it almost pulled a Backlash because the first match was really good, but the main event, kind of a weird little main event. Not as good as last week's main event. But it did have a story arc, as a guy went from a higher high, lower lows, to a higher highs. We'll get to that in a minute. First, we'll begin with, I can't believe they're starting off in London. We got a good crowd. They chant a lot, and they always boo a lot of good people that people usually cheer, but some people that boo, and they always boo it everywhere. But no one gets more boos in London than Roman Reigns. And he started up with Roman Reigns because ass booed out the building. And he came out for one reason, to get his hands on Jinder Mahal. As Jinder Mahal screwed Roman Reigns out of an opportunity to get in the Money in the Bank ladder match, screwing him in a triple threat main event last week, as me and probably everyone thought Roman Reigns was going to be in Money in the Bank. And we were happy to say thank you, Jinder. Who would have thought we'd be saying thank you, Jinder? But must be getting towards a Roman Mahal feud. They're trying to get Roman over and say, hey, Roman's against Jinder. And also they're trying to make Roman a Daniel Bryan guy, saying, oh, management's not behind me. Management's trying to screw me over. We're not buying it. No, we're still not buying it. Doesn't matter what you do to Reigns. As long as you don't turn him heel, we're still going to boo him. Anyway, as Reigns wanted a piece of Mahal, called Mahal out, he didn't get Mahal. Instead, he got the general manager of Raw, Kurt Angle, saying that management has called him. Is that this new thing about Angle getting shouted out by management, especially Stephanie McMahon, who will get her name mentioned a little bit later on. So he said that Reigns, Mahal's not coming out to attack you or anything tonight. Management said that Angle acted emotionally when he denied Jinder an opportunity to be in Money in the Bank ladder match. That's why Jinder did what he did last week. He beat the crap out of Chad Gable, and then he screwed over Roman Reigns in spite of Angle not allowing him to be in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Thus, tonight, management has decided to one-up Angle and will allow Jinder Mahal to be in a triple threat qualifier against both Elias, and he's still not getting a reaction, Bobby Lashley. Maybe get a reaction now, especially if this feud has been teased with him and a guy who likes wearing newsboy caps, and people say, "Ole at him." Anywho, and he said that not only that, there will be no more opportunities for you, Reigns. You're not getting more qualifying matches for Money in the Bank. Yay! I did predict at the end of my video last week, I did predict that Roman would be in Money in the Bank, because I had a feeling they're going to push Roman to be in the ladder match no matter what, but apparently that's not happening happily. But You gotta take good with the bad. The good thing is, Woman's staying away from the Money in the Bank ladder match. Bad thing is, we're probably gonna get, like I said, a Jinder Mahal match with Woman. And that was what they're building towards, as Roman Reigns would leave the ring angered by the decision of WWE management not allowing him to enter any more qualifying matches for Money in the Bank. And Angle said this was the last night of qualifying for Money in the Bank, or at least for the men, that is. We had a women's qualifier tonight. So allergies acting up. We have 2 more qualifiers for Raw for the women after the night. And all the men's spots would be filled this evening. But Moore was not happy about being denied an opportunity to get another shot at qualifying after being screwed by Jinder. So he's like, well, you're not going to give me an opportunity. I'm going to make my own. He went to the back, found Jinder Mahal, attacked him from behind. They brought up to the outside of the Titantron, back in the crowd. He got on the stage, and it was a Superman punch on the stage to Jinder from Woman. He was probably teasing a spear off the stage, but that never happened. So Jinder went off to the back. He got taped up. And then later on, as Jinder was getting ready to be in this triple threat match, he got speared through a wall by Reigns. So Jinder would not be able to participate in his triple threat match this evening. After all, thanks to Reigns. The attack earlier, and then being speared later on. So Woman's like, you screw me, I screw you. You screwed me out of my opportunity to be in a Money in the Bank ladder match? Turnabout's fair play, motherfucker. Because I'm screwing you out of your chance. Who will replace Jinder? We shall find out. But first, we got a real matchup to open up here at that segment. It's an open challenge again for the Intercontinental Championship. I'm happy Rollins is doing this. Seth freaking Rollins once again put up the open challenge for the IC Championship. Last week, he had a good match with Mojo Rawley. This is like what happened with Cena. I did like the Cena open challenges. Yeah, Cena wins every time, but guess what? You got a lot of young guys some opportunities. Like Sami Zayn, although he got hurt doing that. He had a good match with Neville over that open challenge. And now Rollins is doing that again. Heck, if you can have a good match with, of all people, Mojo Rawley, that's an accomplishment. So, when this open challenge was laid out again, people probably, like myself, were thinking, we all in the UK after all. Y'all teasing some UK stars on this tour, especially there'll be some on 205 Live on Tuesday. So maybe we see some 205 UKs challenging, but we didn't get any UK guys challenging Rollins, like maybe Bruiserweight. But we did have Kevin Owens accepting the challenge. Kind of a, we knew of a rivalry from back in 2016. This match, like everyone who wants his matches lately, was really, really good. Really back and forth, exciting. Both guys with a big move. Some of the best spots in this match was when Seth did the Falcon Arrow on the apron. That was nasty. I've never seen the, you always seen like the sequence where Rollins does a vertical suplex up the top and then ends it with the Falcon Arrow. He did the Falcon Arrow separately, and he did it on the apron. That was awesome and gnarly looking. And we did see that sequence attempt later on. One of my favorite spots was when Rollins was going for the vertical suplex, Falcon Arrow combination, but then Owens would counter it with a Fisherman Buster from the top. That was awesome. Awesome counter. Great answer from both guys. Numerous attempts at both big moves. We kind of saw attempts at the Papa Powerbomb. And of course, numerous attempts at the Cannonball. And there was a cool little sequence, like Rollins went for the Frog Splash, got counted by Owens, and then Owens tried to do his own Frog Splash. So that was another good little spot in that match. Like, allergies. Then we would end the match. The finish came with Owens and Rollins were brawling on the outside. As Owens was about to get back in, stuck in the middle rope, he got caught with a stump. the curb stomp and the 1-2-3 victory for Seth freaking Rollins. Good finish. Great match to open up Wall here. Crowd was hot, especially for Rollins. I've said it last week. I'll say it again. Always been a Rollins guy. And he had an up and down 2017. And I was watching this Raw tonight. We're watching this match. Back in my mind, I was thinking, I think Seth's got one person to thank for his push. I hate to do this, but thank you, Jason Jordan, for getting injured. I don't get injured with anybody, but at the beginning of the year, Seth Rollins was in a weird tag team with Jason Jordan. But then Jordan got hurt with his broken neck. Might be back any week now. He might be coming back. But Jordan got hurt, and it changed all Rollins' plans. And that's what started his road to the IC Championship. And now he's having one of the best ones in his career. Thanks to an unintentional Jason Jordan injury. So, it's sad to say that. But when you look back, you do have to thank the injury of Jason Jordan. Because without that, who knows what would happen to Seth Rollins. He probably would have been in a know-nothing. They were probably setting up a weird little match between Rollins and Jordan at Mania until that went through. But now, look what happened now. Rollins is now IC champion. They put on a really good match after really good match, being the world-class champion of the Raw brand since the other male title holder doesn't do diddly shit. Speaking of a title that may go part-time, we got some very interesting news concerning Money in the Bank. Besides getting some qualifiers, we got some matches for the pay-per-view. We're getting, on the SmackDown side, it was announced we're getting Nakamura, AJ Four. Hopefully there'll be a stipulation in there after the last two matches ended shitty. Or we're going to have a last man standing gig or anything like that. Makes you wish next month's pay-per-view was Extreme Rules and not it being in July. Because it's in July this year, not June. Money in the Bank's in June. So there's that. But we also got some very interesting news that set the internet on fire for good and bad reasons. At the upfronts today, the NBC Universal upfronts, several superstars were in New York, including Charlotte, Nia Jax, Stephanie, Triple H. It's these events where the networks reveal, it's the week where the networks all go to reveal their new fall schedule, the 2018-19 fall schedule, to all the press and media and all these people. And each network has its own day. So today was the NBC Universal Day. So USA, Sci-Fi, all the networks associated with NBC Universal came down to New York, including WWE was represented. During that, we saw an interview with Ronda Rousey, who was there, she really impressed at Mania. Then she was confronted by Nia Jax after talking with Charlotte, and Nia challenged Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship, and like it or not, it's accepted. Now, at least in Ronda's promo, at least Ronda said, I've only had one match. There's more other women that deserve it than me. So much for special treatment then. But I don't think it's Ronda's fault. I don't think Ronda personally asked for a title match. Because she truly believes she wants to earn her spot in the company. But it kind of contradicts her, I don't want special treatment by not appearing every week. And getting a title match without really deserving it. Because she hasn't had one singles match yet on television. Yet, her first singles match is for the Raw Women's title. What is this? Lana all over again? Because Lana's first major singles match was for the SmackDown Women's title last year. And remember, she lost. Maybe Ronda will lose. But a lot of people are fearing that Ronda's going to win. Unless a screwy ending happens. And unless Ronda wants to be a fighting champion, don't be a fucking Lesnar. We're going to see another part-time champion. We don't want two part-time champions in the same fucking brand. I love Rousey. She wasn't President Mania, but she doesn't need a title now. Nia's finally got the title. And she may now be a transitional champion. Maybe pushed aside for publicity. And that's why I think they announced it at the upfronts. Because like, hey, the press is there, the media is there. Ronda's a big name in the world of MMA, now in the world of wrestling. And now they want advertising. That's why they did it. That's why they wanted to push Rousey themselves to get a shot because they want the publicity. They don't care about Ronda's personal wishes to not get a title match until she's ready. They want the money now. They want to cash in on her now, especially after that impressive performance at Mania. So there you go. She actually does in the first singles match. So speaking of Money in the Bank, we're on to our next qualifying match for it. 3-man who, it doesn't matter who wins this qualifier, we'll probably not win it. We got No Way Jose against Baron Corbin against Bobby Roode. Now we've seen a little feud going with No Way Jose and Baron Corbin. Of course, Baron Corbin beating No Way Jose in a 6-man tag team match last week. So, see if that goes into play here. Crowd wasn't that No Way Jose thing. He's becoming, I agree with some people. He's the new Adam Welsh. We'll see. I liked him in NXT, and I knew that segment was not going to go away on main roster. It's been up and down, but we'll see. If Bobby Roode needs to turn heel. Badly. The song's good, but needs to turn heel. He was better at NXT and also in TNA. Okay, a little triple threat. You know, for being 3 guys who will probably not win the match, no matter who qualifies. It was okay, a little qualifier. No Way Jose got some big moves on, but eat some big moves from Baron, including a deep 6. And Corbin, I thought he was going to win because he's the reigning Money in the Bank champion. It was an opportunity to not squander his Money in the Bank briefcase like he did last year if he would win it again. But then, near towards the end, because after that, up mentioned deep 6 from Baron Corbin onto No Way Jose after beating up both Jose and Bobby on the outside. Roode would push Corbin up to the post. It would nail the glorious DDT onto No Way Jose. Actually, No Way Jose did not eat the deep 6. Bobby Roode did. I apologize. Sometimes they're being boxes. So Roode ate the deep 6. But No Way Jose would toss Baron Corbin against the post. And then No Way Jose would eat the glorious DDT in the victory for Bobby Roode. Okay, little qualifier. Not as good as last week's Super Fat Main Event. But, okay. I like Bobby Roode. I don't think he'll win it. So Roode is the 3rd man from Raw to qualify of the 4 qualifying spots for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Who will be the 4th? We'll find out later on. But next up, we have the newly named B Team. The Mr. Because I was wondering what they're going to do with them. You know, what we're going to do with Axel and Bo after they lost the Miz to SmackDown. After weeks of trying to jump on other people's bandwagons, trying to join Seth and Finn, the 2 men who were involved in that triple threat at Mania with the Miz. Now, they want a tag team title opportunity. They want to treat themselves seriously as a tag team. Despite losing to the tag champs last week, they're like, hey, we haven't done well as the Mr. Watch. Because Angle's like, you haven't got a tag team win on Raw. Mr. Watch hasn't won anything, but the B Team. They are trying to do themselves an A Team. We now have the B Team. They call it the best team. I call it the Bo Team. Bo Team. Apparently it's over. They came up with these white t-shirts with just the letter B's on it. They're going to sell those shirts. So they would take on Breezango, another B Team that's thought for the letter B. And aka the Fashion Police, they had a big win over the Bar a few weeks ago. So maybe they're pulling an upset here. But okay, little match. Crowd was chanting during this match. I thought they were singing the Fandango song, but they're chanting another song. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was a soccer chant. We are in England after all, the football. F-U-T-B-O-L, capital of the world. Unless it's Brazil. Anyway, that's like probably the 2 biggest soccer countries and cities is Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and London, England. In the entire country of England. Anywho, Breezango did get a good teaming of the B Team after the early offense from Axel and Bo. Who people chanting B Team. But despite Breezango's best efforts, including a missed elbow from Breezango or missed leg drop, the B Team would take advantage of it, of that miss near towards the end, and were able to double team and a 1-2-3 victory for the B Team. So, and they were like happy about it. So we got a new comedy team on the wall side of things, being the B Team. Because like I said in the beginning, I was wondering what they're gonna do with Axel and Bo without the Miz. Are they gonna be wasted? Are they gonna split up? Well, they're not splitting up anytime soon. And now the B treated like a serious team. Now with the new name, the B team, who are now undefeated. See how long this lasts. But it's got some potential. As long as they put enough effort into it, and more effort than they are doing in the booking of the AJ Shinsuke rivalry. But they've fucked that up badly with the about the nuts anyway. So now on to our next matchup, a 6-woman tag. As Sasha Banks, despite the fact she lost to Finn Bayley, she's still making friends somehow with Ember Moon, who has qualified Money in the Bank, and had beaten Sasha in that qualifying match last week, and also with Natalya, taking on Ruby Wyatt, a woman who was also, I think, the pin in that triple threat match last week, and Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan, the Riot Squad. Okay, a little 6-woman tag here. You know, despite some excitement from Ember, Sasha will get isolated by the Wyatt Squad, and I like Ruby Wyatt. Maybe she's just built from the Wyatt Squad. They're not getting a reaction. Maybe it's the music. Maybe, who knows? But they're a decent little team, but they're not getting much reaction, kind of like Bobby Lashley. Anyway, despite the isolation, Sasha would finally get the tag in to Natalya, coming with real big moves. Before towards the end, it became like high-flying city, with the Wyatt Squad being tossed over the outside. Sasha delivering the meteor from the apron, taking out one member of the Wyatt Squad. I think she took out Ruby with that. Then Sarah Logan taken out by a splash, a dive from Ember Moon, leaving Liv Morgan and Natalya in the ring. And basically leaving Liv Morgan to be set up for the sharpshooter and the tap-out victory for Natalya. So Natalya gets a win for her team. So there's an okay little match here. Let's move on to our next affair involving the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Woken Lovers, as some people have called them, but they're now being labeled as the Eater of Worlds. Matt Hardy, Woken Matt Hardy, and Bray Wyatt. I think they're finally clicking as a team here against the Revival. Man, I feel... Remember when the Revival was supposed to be the next big team on Raw? I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers when the Revival were not buried every week because of their bad luck of injuries. Shame. Shame on creative. Shame for fucking the Revival over. Shame. And then with the Ascension. Shame. Like they almost did tonight with McIntyre and Ziggler. Get to that in a minute. But Revival did have some double team moments on Wyatt before getting hot tagged to Hardy. Hardy let an awkward side effect on Dash Wilder. He did the move, but then it was like the landing was kind of weird because when he did it, Dash Wilder landed on Matt's ribs. So that was like kind of a weird, awkward landing of the execution of that move. Then comes the new finishing move. They had double team just a fake, but now they have the stigma with the double team Sister Abigail. They're now calling the Kiss of Deletion. Some say it sucks. I say it's decent. Okay, little double teamer in the 1-2-3 victory for the new World Tag Team Champions. I think they're setting up the B team to be new challengers, despite the fact they lost to him last week. We saw him backstage watching with notes that had B on it. So they're getting that over. But I believe it should be Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler should be challenging the World Tag Team Champions. Been looking good lately. And we'll see if they look good again tonight when they wrestle later on. But now on to our next thing before we get to our next matchup, being the second qualifying match for the women's Money in the Bank. Another triple threat is Sami Zayn coming out. Talking about Bobby Lashley. They're trying to set up Bobby Lashley for a feud so he can get some sort of reaction. More than he's been getting lately. And they tried to get him over with an interview last week. That was nothing more than just a conversation about his sisters. Came out a little awkward. And now I think they're going with it. Now we know there is a reason behind that interview being only about Bobby's sisters. He's setting up a feud with Sami Zayn. Now we thought he was going to set up a feud with Elias because he interrupted Elias when he debuted or returned at the night after WrestleMania. But he's been being in matches with Sami lately, and apparently giving Zayn vertigo. Now that's a weird little thing they're going with. The reason why Sami Zayn, the storyline reason why Sami Zayn was ejected from the Greatest Royal Rumble, not mentioning the fact that he is a Muslim that's hated in Saudi Arabia. So that's one reason. He was an Iranian Muslim, or some sort of Muslim that Saudi Arabia hates. So that's the real reason why Sami Zayn was ejected for that Greatest Royal Rumble, despite being advertised. But now he's showing that interview again with Lashley, talking about his sisters. And he's saying that I got the truth about Bobby Lashley. Found out from his sisters who are going to expose him next week. This could end really good, or this could end This Is Your Life Bailey bad. This could be the worst segment of this year. It was 1 year ago that we had the worst segment of the year being This Is Your Life. Like, we could be jumping the gun about saying this segment could suck, but seeing these kind of segments perform, this could be ugly. This could be This Is Your Life Bailey ugly. This could be Ball Family on Miss TV ugly. But we pray it doesn't, but we'll see how it goes. But I expect bad things. But now we're on to that triple threat match for a women's qualifier, or should I say, kind of a legitimate handicap match to qualify for Money in the Bank. As there's Alexa Bliss and Mickie James against Bayley. When this match was named, I was like, really? You have two friends teaming up or facing off against Bayley, who has no friends at all, especially on again off again thing with Sasha Banks. Is it ever gonna have a conclusion? Or what? It was a good feud that they stopped doing anything with it. If they don't do a payoff soon, no one's gonna fucking give a fuck about it. Sadly. Anyway, but I kind of saw this match going the way it did, saying that Bliss and Mickie were gonna double team on Bayley, which they did. But then they realized, hey, it's a triple threat match for an opportunity by the bank. It's every move for himself, and one would turn on the other. And Mickie James would do the turning, and she would pin Alexa Bliss. And then they broke up, and that was about it. For the majority of the matchup, the crowd was into Bayley, doing the, hey, Bayley. The only crowd that gives the reactions to her anymore is the UK crowds. So Bayley did some big moves, including a Bayley to belly onto Alexa Bliss. Mickie James would pull Bayley out of the way, nailing her and attacking her. But then Bayley, near towards the end, would get knocked out by a big fist from Alexa Bliss. But then Bliss would nail the Bliss DDT for the victory and qualified herself for the ladder match. I had a feeling she was going to qualify. She had a little tape on her shoulder. They say she had an injured shoulder after Backlash. I'm happy it wasn't that serious of an injury. And she was back wrestling tonight. And qualifies for Money in the Bank. We'll see what happens and who else qualifies. We got Bliss with Ember Moon. And now Charlotte, if she even makes it to Money in the Bank, she's had some bad luck lately. Getting her teeth knocked out in a tour day in Germany. And now finding out that she has to get surgery on a ruptured breast implant. And she was already taken out of an expo she was supposed to do an autograph for after Money in the Bank, which may assume she's going to be out of Money in the Bank. We'll see if that happens or not. But as right now, Charlotte's in the ladder match with Bliss. So we'll see who else fills out the slots for the Raw and SmackDown women's sides. So I'll get a little triple threat. And once again, for the second straight women's triple threat week in a row, the crowd was interested in something else. They were chanting about something else like they did during last week's triple threat. So there you go. So now on to our next matchup, which involved Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. So I was saying it in the beginning a little bit earlier. They have good potential as a good team. So I'm like, man, they've been looking good lately. They should be challenging for the Raw Tag Team Championships and not get buried like they did to the Revival and the Ascension. But seeing on paper this match tonight, I'm like, really? You're putting up a potential great heel tag team. And you're potentially going to let them get buried already. Bury another good potential heel tag team by putting them up against two over guys, who have already qualified for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Braun Strowman, who's going to kill them, and Finn Balor. That's what I thought. I was like, burial for another good heel team that's going to get buried before they live up to their potential, fucking them over like they did to the Ascension and the Revival. Thankfully, that surprisingly didn't happen. Despite the expected dominance from Strowman doing all the work, that's of course he got the hot tag, and after there was a good double teaming from Ziggler and McIntyre onto Finn, isolating with a double teaming before Strowman would get in, but then would tag in Finn again. So decent little action here. And the ending would come when Drew McIntyre was battling outside with Strowman, and Strowman would do one of his patented running shoulder tackles onto Drew McIntyre, but he would land on the trophy and almost broke the trophy that Braun Strowman won for winning the greatest Royal Rumble event in Saudi Arabia. So with that going on, Finn was setting up for the coup de grace, but then would get caught and stopped by Dolph Ziggler, who would knock him off and pin him in the 1-2-3 victory for McIntyre and Ziggler. So a potential burial of a great heel team turned out to be a good thing. At least instead of burying them to a good team, to two good guys, they are now making them more of a threat by letting them beat two of Raw's biggest guys. At least Strowman got protected. He didn't get pinned. But once again, they're not saving Finn worth a shit and letting him eat a pin. But it made Ziggler and McIntyre more threatening than they already were, and more potential for them getting a tag team title shot more than the B team. So there you go. So my ego's fears of them losing didn't turn out to be true, happily. So now we're on to our next scenario, the main event, triple threat match. We were supposed to get Jinder Mahal against Elias and Bobby Lashley, who will replace Jinder. A guy who I mentioned was on the lowest of lows to begin the night, surprisingly, Kevin Owens. Despite the fact he lost to Rollins and, more importantly, already lost the qualifying match to Money in the Bank to Braun Strowman last week, he got another opportunity thanks to Stephanie McMahon, who's been his go-to card ever since he came to Raw. After Mania, there's a thing they're building us with Angle and the management. Angle does things emotionally, and management, specifically Stephanie McMahon, overrides. Angle wouldn't allow Angle and Sami Zayn to join separately or together so they had to fight each other and went to a double countout. The next week, Stephanie overrides that and makes them both members of the Raw team. And then Angle emotionally would not allow Jinder Mahal to enter the Money in the Bank ladder match. This week, they override him and put Jinder in a qualifying match he would never make thanks to Roman Reigns laying him out. So then, today, Angle once again, emotionally, did not accept KO's request to be put in another Money in the Bank qualifying match, but got overridden again by Stephanie McMahon, who was called by KO. And KO would interrupt Elias. We didn't get the "Walk with Elias" chant. We almost saw him sing again. We get interrupted again by Lashley. Needs to continue their sort of semi-feud that may not happen now. But Elias is over with the fans. I thought he was going to be the one to win this. Yeah, the "Walk with Elias" chants. I've always applauded Elias on main roster. He's doing so much better here than NXT. I talk about a lot of guys like the Ascension and Revival who did so good at NXT but flopped on the main roster, mostly thanks to creative failing them on the main roster than on NXT. And I was one of those rare examples of a guy who failed in NXT but has been flourishing on the main roster. So despite him being over, he had an okay showing here. But like I said, this match was decent. It was kind of weird having this be the main event. And I'm kind of happy to replace Jinder because like, really? You have a Jinder Mahal main event tonight? It's almost as bad as a Roman Reigns main event. But anyway, Owens delivered a cannonball, a couple attempts at that. And Lashley come out with some big moves, including the vertical suplex attempted. He almost did a dominator at one point. And I think he did. But then there towards the end, Sami Zayn, I had a feeling they would tease the Sami Zayn thing with him bringing up Bobby's sisters next week. I don't think they'll be his real sisters. That's why I'm thinking this may be the worst segment of the year candidate next week. He would come out and attack Lashley and give him the luva kick on the outside with Elias down. Sami Zayn would lead his friend, Kevin Owens, to get up the top rope and deliver a frog splash and the 1, 2, 3 after losing the Intercontinental Championship tonight in a good match against Rollins. Like I said in the beginning, he went from the lowest of lows to the highest of highs, losing a title match, then winning a qualifier for Money in the Bank in the second try. So KO is the final wall man to be in Money in the Bank. I think my predictions were wrong for this one. I thought the third and fourth, I think I predicted Lashley and Reigns, but it ended up being Owens and Bobby Roode. So Elias won't be in a ladder match. I wonder what he's going to do at Money in the Bank. Be put in another fun, silly segment. But should not be doing that forever with Elias. He's an over guy. He should go for a mid-card title. I hope he answers Rollins' open challenge soon. I hope that's next week. He should challenge that, man. I could see him as an IC champion one day, but Rollins is having too good of a one right now to ruin it. But I do want Elias to be a champion one day because he's over. He's a decent wrestler, and I like him. I like him better than NXT. So there you go. That's my thoughts on this week's Raw. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you for being a subscriber. If you're a subscriber, thank you. If you're not a subscriber to this channel and want to hear my thoughts more about wrestling, subscribe to this channel. With that in mind, you've been attacked by the review from Zach. See you later. Bye-bye.